Hello, hello, and welcome to another live. All right, welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Voices in Education. Please comment in the chat and let me know if this is your first time here. We would love to give you a big Voices in Education welcome. All right. As you enter, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. All right. If you are a returning viewer, listener, or subscriber, welcome back. All right. So we're still on the local government elections, and perhaps we'll be talking about this maybe until next week. I don't know, based on what is happening. So we're going to talk about what is happening and trying to understand, what is happening. And we want to also have a conversation about, Cliff Hughes calling, the election early. So there was a video on this channel earlier, and we got some, comments from our viewers, listeners. We got some comments there. And also, just to talk about the official results and some other updates, what is happening with the results? I mean, it's just like 29.6% in the context of voter turnout. So, what's going on there? So, this for sure. So, it's going to be a very good conversation. I am believing. I am also joined for this one. Rurian, I believe, is here. Hello, Rurian.
Hello,
Not
Dr. Celine.
here.
I'm here with
Okay,
you. I'm here with you.
awesome.
I'm here with you. Hello, everyone. I really want to be a part of this one. This one seems to be, it's seeming to be one that's going to be really interesting. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here, and thanks for sharing that. So I'm hoping it's going to be interesting. So guys, we need to get the numbers up right now. We need to get the number up so that we can start, going into this conversation because clip use for sure is going to be perhaps top of the agenda. So let us just hit the like button and the subscription button and get it out of the way, get that part out of the way, and also hit that, share button for us to just get this conversation going. Of course, you have a voice, and we want to hear from you in the context of this conversation. So you can share in the chat, or soon you will see the WhatsApp number on screen where you can also call in to participate in this conversation. All we're asking of you is to keep it respectful. We're not going to bash anybody. We're not going to belittle anyone. All right. And we're not going to defame anyone because we want to have this space where we can continue to have good conversation. We can have some good talks, right? And so we want to keep it safe and we don't want to be in any problems with YouTube or anyone else. So we have some parameters that we are working with and we have been doing fine. So I know that we'll continue to be good here. If you believe that what you're going to say might not be too good for the listening ear, you can always type it in the chat and I'll try my best to, share that as best as I can. All right. So see the numbers here going up. Guys, we can do better with the like. So hit the like button. Max Morgan is here. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Max Morgan and Empty Vessel 876. Hello. And I'm seeing the Jamaican and American flag there. Welcome, welcome. So let's get this number up quick and fast. All right, guys, so that we can just, start this conversation and, just dive right in. So I am just waiting. Rurian, did you hear any updates today or, get a chance to access any new information?
Unfortunately, I did not. So I'm going to be leaning on you today and also the viewers to share what they have heard over the time. I haven't done any formal checks, so I'm really going to be all ears tonight, just trying to find out what is happening in this regard. So I'm going to be listening. I'll do my checks while we're here as well, just to see if I can find anything worth sharing in terms of this topic. But you know based on the discussions that we had last night, it's going to be interesting what people think about the fuse and the local government election on a whole.
Wonderful. And I believe, our number is going up. So are we going to hit it to 100 to get this going? Please hit the like button. Well, guys, we can do better with the likes. So, Rurian, are you taking on the likes this evening or the subscription? Are you going to stick to what
You
you
know,
like?
you know, you know, I'm going to stick to the likes. I'm doing it, I'm doing it for the likes, the likes for me tonight as well. I'm not changing course, and this is what I know about. So I'll speak about the likes. I leave the subscription part to you. I am trying to learn from my leaders, and how to deal with the certain aspect of stuff. So I'm going to stay in my lane. Really going to stay in my lane.
All right. So, Rurian is going to take on the likes. And, guys, I believe in what me fair and square last evening. So, let us double up on the subscription. All right. I'm going to start out by asking for 10 subscribers. So let us start there. We're starting small. So I'm gonna start out by asking for 10 subscribers. And guys, easiest ways to support this space is by hitting the like button and the subscription button. So those are the easiest ways and to share, All right, Neo21, hello, hello. All right, welcome, Neo. Welcome, everyone. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscription button. And, we are going to start out, with clip views because that was a big one today. So we're going to start there and we'll see where this conversation, goes in that context. We have some updates we want to share, and we definitely want to hear from you as well. So, Rurian, are you ready for us to just get into clip views and just to have that conversation going? All right, not hearing from
Yeah,
Rurian, but
yeah, you hear me
okay, go
now?
ahead.
Yes,
Yes.
just before you get into that, we just want to welcome everyone who is, online today, who is standing here with us and, sharing this platform. We really appreciate you, and we're, looking forward to hearing your views, and we totally appreciate your support. So just continue to stick around. And, as I would normally say, if you like it, man. If you like it, you like it. And if you want more of it or of this, then please subscribe to our channel. All right, Natasha, it's over to you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So, guys, we're in this competition and I'm asking for 10 subscribers. That's my start here. And Rural is asking for likes. So, the easiest ways to support us is by hitting the like button, the subscription button, and share, share, share. And if you want to support us even further, super chat, stickers, channel membership, All right, we have it here. But we're just asking you right now, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us continue to grow. But, in the context of this local government election, so much has been happening. So for those of you who might not know by now, you know, on Monday, the polls were closed at about 5 o'clock, and the counting started. So media houses, they were broadcasting, I guess, YouTube on their respective stations in the context of what was happening. All right, at about I will say about 8:35 Jamaica time, right? 8:35 p.m. Cliff Hughes, he was on PBC Jamaica, right? They were broadcasting there as well in terms of, election results. And he pretty much made an early call in the context of the election for the People's National Party. Now, that has caused some criticism in the context of, clip use, one, making that call, and two, in the sense where persons are wondering if this was actually, true. So we have persons who believe that he made the right call, and you have some persons who are sharing their views that, it's an attempt to cover up something that I don't know about, and perhaps that is what we're trying to find out. As far as I know, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, they have not, said anything about, that early election call. But what we know is that the opposition leader, Mark Golding, right? And I am assuming based on this early call, he gave a speech, and based on the nature of that speech, one would pretty much, connected to what was previously said, by, I guess, Cliff Hughes nationwide in the context of, the PNP, the People's National Party, winning the election. All right. But that happened, right? And we were there, I was just there navigating, and I'm like, they called the election. So what is happening here? And then we started to get information that the election, it's not yet over, because there seems to be, some reversing, and the JLP, they seem to be taking the lead. So pretty much then, closer contested, but the JLP is now, in the lead. So after that, what we saw after that early call from Cliff Hughes was that the PNP headquarters, it was a vibe. It was buzzing, right? It was buzzing, buzzing. And then when we got a look at the JLP headquarters, some people would refer to it as a ghost town. It was very quiet, dead. All right. But later on, in the evening, apparently there was some updates. So that situation at the JLP headquarters started to change in the context that persons or supporters of the party were now, coming, apparently hearing something else based on, how the results were now coming in. All right, so late in the evening, and we talked about this last evening, so this is just to bring you, give you an update here. About minutes after 11, the prime minister, he shared that, okay, they have won the election based on the fact that, they were leading at that time 7-4. And if you were to do a mathematical calculation, then they would have, based on that figure at the time, they would have the advantage. So, but he was very cautious as opposed to Mark, who was more, powerful in terms of his speech, and in terms of saying, Jamaicans, they selected, him. So it was different in the context of the leaders and their statements. With that said, All right, welcome, guys. Remember to hit the like button, share button, and subscription button. With that said, I now want us to go to Cliff Hughes. We're going to go first before the apology. We're going to go to a statement that he made while he was broadcasting live with George Davis, I believe. So we're going to go to that statement where he said something that I believe is critical to this conversation in the context of having access, right, to the results from the EOJ, the Electoral Office of Jamaica. So I want you to listen to that conversation, and then we're going to try and dissect that first part before, thinking about Cliff Hughes calling the election for, the PNP, and then we move on to the apology and, then try to get the conversation, keep the conversation going based on those three, contexts. So first, we're going to go to the point where Cliff was sharing that they are not having access to results from the EOJ as though they would want to, and then we have a talk about that in the context, the second part, in the context of Cliff making that announcement. All right, so I am just going to go to let us see if we can get this recording here for you. All right, guys, so we have it ready here. So we're going to listen to this statement from Cliff Hughes. And again, George was there as well. And we're going to try and understand, perhaps if there is any logic in terms of, Cliff arriving at this decision or this early announcement. All right, so remember to hit the like button, the share button, the subscription button. We should be at 100 likes by now. So I'm not going to campaign for Rurian, but I'm campaigning for subscribers to hit the subscription button. All right, let us listen to Cliff and George here, because George was supporting Cliff. So Cliff was the one who was pretty much sharing, but George was pretty much, supporting. So let's go to this one.
Let us be frank. What we were expecting to have from the EOJ's database, we're not getting it.
It's poor.
Yeah, it's poor. We're not able to tell you how many boxes have counted out of a total of so much or so many. Yeah, we just don't know. And that is crucial for us to determine where it's likely to go. Yeah, how many boxes, how many votes are left to be counted. And the EOJ database has not been giving us that information.
All right, so you heard it, and I'm just going to go there again just for us to hear that again and, start the conversation. And I'm going to place the WhatsApp number in the chat for now until we can get to that screen where we want to, where we can see the number. So what I'm going to do, but let me just say hello to some persons there in the chat. Kay Freeman, Beverly, Darwin, good luck, DF. I see good luck there, and favorite. All right, so hit the like button, hit the subscription button. We should be at 100 likes now. I'm not seeing 100 likes yet, and I know that we can do it. So in order to like, where you see that X, right, in the live chat there at the top of the screen, just close that X for a bit and hit that thumbs up button. So just touch that thumbs up button and let us keep going. All right, so let me just go back to this clip again so that we can hear the statement again from Cliff Hughes regarding the EOJ.
Let us be frank. What we were expecting to have from the EOJ's database, we're not getting it.
It's poor.
Yeah, it's poor. We're not able to tell you how many boxes have counted out of a total of so much or so many. Yeah, we just don't know. And that is crucial for us to determine where it's likely to go. Yeah, how many boxes, how many votes are left to be counted. And the EOJ database has not been giving us that information.
All right, good. So we're just here now. So the EOJ, oh my bad there. So the EOJ's website, or their database, sorry, according to Cliff Hughes, was not giving them the information that they needed in terms of, you know, the results and analyzing it, making sense of it, calling, I guess, certain seats or divisions. All right. So the big question is, if this was the context, right? And Cliff Hughes acknowledged that there was some issues here. And when we move on to the apology, we'll hear that again. On what basis did Cliff make that early announcement? So, guys, I just want you to think about that. How did he come to make that announcement? Was it about bragging rights to say that, we called it first for the PNP, and I see comments where persons are saying, he's a responsible journalist, and some persons would say, journalists should be responsible. So, what would cause Cliff Hughes to make that early call for the PNP, considering that he had previously stated to the public that the EOJ database wasn't giving them the information that they needed? All right. And so want to start the conversation there. So Rurian, I'm not sure if you'd like to share anything here, and I'm going to just place that WhatsApp number in the chat.
Yes, Natasha, I would like to add my view to this. You know, based on what he said and based on what I experienced too in terms of finding information about this election, it was a bit hard to find, information about seats and who is doing well and all of that. And I'm saying that if he is a person who is with the media and they should have better access, I would say, to this information. And if he can come out and say that categorically that they're not getting the access to the information that they needed, then it is that statement is pretty strong and speaking volume as it relates to access to the information as it relates to these elections. So I totally could hear the frustration in his voice as it relates to wanting that information and not being able to have it. And it's a really strong statement.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, a very strong one. And I'm seeing Lessine Ellis here. Welcome back, Lessine. Is saying the same thing I got from Mark Golding's speech is what I'm seeing currently happening now. That is what I was saying the other night. All right, so the WhatsApp number is in the chat, guys. We should be at 100 likes now. Let's do it, man. Just hit the like button and the subscription button. I asked for 10 subscribers for a start. So give me the 10, please. Marcia, thanks for sharing. Cliff was not wrong. I was watching. And Sanya Brown is saying here, let me just see. Okay, so everything, caused by Cliff, people would know the real winner with no conflict. All right. Okay, I see you there, Sanya. And, Mr. Yi, welcome. Yes, Mr. Yi, that's the update that we got. We're going to get there, but we're just starting here. But since you brought that up, the PNP, the last update I got, the PNP took the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation by virtue of winning the Kentire division. So I'm not sure if the JLP, if they're going to ask for a recount in that context, but that's the update that we got, from the, I guess, coming from the EOJ. All right, so we'll leave that one there. Again, we should be at 100 likes by now. I'm not seeing that. We can do better. Anne Marie Brown Walters, good evening. And welcome to you. Welcome, Anne Marie, one of our day one supporters. So welcome, Anne Marie. Welcome. So the phone line is open. The WhatsApp number is in the chat. Would love to hear from you in this context before we move on. So the question is, if Cliff knows, right, that they're not able to get that information from the EOJ, how did, he arrive at that position in terms of making the call for the People's National Party? And the boards that they have access to, I am not sure if it is generated from the EOJ in terms of the screen they're using, or if it is their team based on the information that they're getting from the EOJ that is populating that display that we're seeing. So again, I'm not too sure about that, because you'll see different media places using their screens to ensure that they're engaging their audience. All right, AKA at the King, welcome, and it's your first time. Welcome to the Voices in Education platform. All right, welcome. Let us know where you're tuned in from. Akeem Campbell, God alone win, definitely. And Dexton, welcome. We're all winners. Okay, wonderful. Welcome, guys. And remember to hit the subscription button. And we can do better with the likes, man. We can do better with the likes. We should be at 200 likes now. We have over 300 here. Just close the X and touch that thumbs up button. And also that subscription button right there. So I'm still waiting to hear from you in the chat in the context of that announcement and, Cliff Hughes making that call. So from the video that we posted earlier, Ruran, we got so much in terms of comments and feedback there. But I would say a lot of it was concerning, or persons were believing that Cliff made the right decision, but something happened that forced him to change his mind. So that's the sense I am getting based on the comments so far on that one. But what Cliff is saying, he pretty much said he's taking responsibility, right, for that mistake. And perhaps I should go to that apology right now so that we can hear that as well. Welcome, Lorna. Welcome, Travis. Welcome. And Akeem. So Travis is asking what the final decision. Travis, we're going to get there too. But right now, we're still waiting on the EOJ, right? The EOJ, and this is a big problem for me and for us as Jamaicans. Imagine 29.6%, turned out to vote, and the EOJ, based on the last time before coming here, they're not able to give us an official result to say this is it. This is what we are presenting to you, the Jamaican people. And I am not sure what is taking them so long. So the EOJ now needs to tell Jamaica what they need in terms of resources to ensure that the citizens of the country can get answers. We deserve that. All right. Carlton, bless up yourself too, Carlton. Welcome and blessings. So, and as you can see there, Carlton Soji Lovelace is a member of the Voices in Education channel. So welcome, guys. We should be at 200 likes right now. So, Rurian, unless you have any comments right now, I'm just going to go to the apology so our viewers, listeners can hear from Cliff Hughes in that context.
Okay, Natasha, just want to encourage the guys to like. We are not yet at 50 likes, and to subscribe as well. Guys, we really appreciate your support, especially persons who have you have subscribed or are like so far. We thank you so much. And if you haven't done so, this is a good time for you to, click that X and hit that thumbs up button and also that subscription button. That goes a far way in helping us to grow this platform. And we really appreciate you for doing that. Thank you for being a member of this platform and just continue to grow with us as we seek to, unravel some of the things that we might question in our country. And we want to do that in a respectful way so we can dissect these things and, get the best understanding of it. And we can only do that with all of us having our little input. And there's a space for each and every one of us right here. So I'm encouraging you to, support us so that we can support you as well. Each one help one. So that's what we're saying. So Natasha, whenever you're ready, you could go with the next one. I'm going to look and see how we're doing as it relates to our likes and subscription. But we thank you guys and we're looking forward for your support. Thank you.
Awesome, Ryan. Thank you so much for, keeping it down and, helping me with, this live as well. All right. So let me just go to the apology here from, Cliff, and it's going to
Let us
take
be frank.
a few minutes. So let us go to Cliff now. So let us just listen and, hear what Cliff Hughes has to say in the context of this apology.
Yes, last evening. Yeah, it was like a kick to the gut. Yeah, and I know you all want to hear me on it. Yes, and that's how we're going to begin this morning. Yeah.
I'm with you early this morning because of what happened last night. It was a tough night in terms of us covering the results and establishing the implications of the results. And I want to say, Connor, Ricardo, listeners, we here at Nationwide over the years have developed a reputation for covering elections very well and calling elections very well. We have gotten it right on all previous occasions. We did not get it right last night when shortly after 8:35 we declared that the opposition, People's National Party, the PNP, had won the local government election. At that time, based on what we had in front of us, a clear trend had developed. Notwithstanding issues relating to or being able to get up-to-the-minute results, yes, from the Electoral Office of Jamaica Election Center, we took the decision, and let me say clearly, I made the decision, not anyone else. It was my call to make, and I take full responsibility for making that call in declaring that the PNP had won the local government election. As the night wore on and the topsy-turvy result system we had in place became clearer, it was obvious that that was a blunder. A blunder. Based on the results, it is wrong to say that the PNP had won the local government election. And I'm here this morning, today, to say that clearly, unequivocally. The other thing I will say in support of that, we had issues relating to accessing results, issues that we will have to assess in tandem with our partners, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, being primarily the key partner here, that we will have to examine and review, critically review, and to learn the lessons from in going forward. But without doubt, I want to make it clear to all listeners, to all viewers, we apologize for the blunder we made last night, shortly after 8:35. It was a blunder. Local government, as we have been saying in our coverage leading up to last evening, there are a number of metrics we use to assess how well one does in a local government election. Local government is not a parliamentary election. You don't change national government in a local election. But the key metric is how many of the local municipalities, and let me make it clear, municipalities, there was a time in Jamaica where we said parish councils, but that's what they are, parish councils, and they've been upgraded. So they have this new name called municipal corporations, but they are parish councils, as we would have grown up with. It is the municipal corporation that has the power, they have the power, yes, to pass regulations and enforce the laws at the community level that impact the lives of residents, to the citizens of Jamaica, in a meaningful way, yes, in terms of urban planning, building approvals, collecting your garbage, making sure your cemeteries work, fixing your parochial roads. They are the ones with the power. Yes? That's where power resides at the local authority level. So to win a local election, you have to gain control of the majority of those municipal corporations. And as you have said, after a long night and early this morning, as of this moment, the governing Jamaica Labour Party has won a majority of the municipal corporations, 7. The opposition has won or is leading in 4 others. That's 11. And 2 are tied as of this moment. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, the big prize, is going to be contested, I gather. But as of this moment, it's a tie in Kingston and St. Andrew and Clarendon. On that key metric alone, the JLP can claim, as it has claimed, victory in the local elections. Now, in terms of the other key metrics, and given the state of the politics, especially the context of the PNP coming back from the dead 4 years ago in 2020, the opposition leader and the party are claiming, with some justification, that they went into yesterday's election with 98 of the 228 electoral divisions, and they have come out with more than 98. Again, based on the topsy-turviness of how we got the results last night and up to now, we don't know how many the PNP will end up with. What we do know is that the JLP has lost. Yes, it went in with 130. It has come out with fewer than 130. On that metric, the PNP is claiming victory. Okay? Now, again, I want to say to our viewers or listeners, because it's a fair comment and I see the criticism, we have to take it. I have to take ultimate responsibility. Yes? And I want to do that this morning. We know that you come to expect us nationwide certain standards of conduct certain standards of reporting, yes, certain standards of commentary, yeah, and analysis. And in that moment, shortly after 8:35 last night, we fell down. We blundered. And we're sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, so there you have it, the apology there from Cliff Hughes. So now I want to hear from you. And again, if you're calling in, we're not defaming anyone. We want to keep it respectful. We're not bashing anyone because we need to protect our safe space and we don't want to be in any troubles with anyone. All right, so we're just going to do that. If you feel that you're too emotional or too strong in terms of the words, you can share it in the chat and I'll do my best to read it as best as I can and share it with, everyone as well. All right. So welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome to our live conversation here. Please remember to hit the like button. We should be close to 300 likes by now. I'm not sure if that is happening for you yet, Rurian. So hit the like button, keep the comments going. Let us know where you're tuned in from. And also the subscription button. I am asking for 10. So give me 10 subscribers now. So 10 subscribers, just hit the subscription button. If you are unfamiliar in terms of how you like, just close the X on the chat there and you see that thumbs up button, just touch it, right? Just touch it and that would be good. And also just keep hitting that subscription button as well. We should be at minimum 100 likes, and I'm not sure if that is the case. But now we heard the apology. We heard the first part where, Cliff, before making that call for the PNP, that early call, where they were talking about the fact that, they're not able to access information from the EOJ. Then he made that call. Now the apology, a little bit more detailed in the sense that he has taken full responsibility. And in this context too, he kind of explained, the metrics, in the context of getting to that decision, which he's saying, he blundered, right? And so that call should never, have been made. It is what it is, he's saying, I'm sorry, he's sorry. Let me just check to see who is in the chat here. All right. I see you there, Gart. Welcome. And that's a very good point there. All politics need to go aside. And we're going to talk about that too in the context of something that we see circulating today. And Akeem is still here. Japi, Sports Talk. Welcome, Japi. And guys, when you have the chance, go over and support Japi there. Welcome. And Lorna, welcome. And let us see here. Who else am I missing here? And Ian, welcome. And again, based on what Ian is saying, that Cliff didn't make any mistake. And a lot of persons, as I said, shared that on the video earlier today. So while I'm not getting a call yet, Rurian, let me circle to you to find out what are your views on, what has been shared so far, if you're able to share with us at this point.
Yes, naturally, I'm here, and it's good to listen to his Cliff's apology, and without even going into his apology, I think he has made a bold step, to step forward and say, I have blundered. I am sorry for making that call, and I give him full respect for doing that, and for and coming on in short order too, because he did that early this morning just to show people that he's human. I would say he's human, he erred, and he's sorry for that. So I appreciate that gesture by Cliff. I think that is really admirable, and I'm happy that he also went into the ins and outs and the twists and turns of how he came up with his his metric, and that ultimately led him to that decision. But with all of that aside, I think he also, this is my personal view, everyone. I feel that he got information from somewhere else, but he's taking the fall in this situation. He's saying that, all right, I'm going to be man enough to say, you know, I blundered here. He's the one who placed this information out there in the public for sure, but I'm not certain that he was able to work all his metrics while he was on air there. So I'm figuring that he must have gotten that information from somewhere. Again, I'll say this is just my personal view of the whole situation. But, all in all, I give him credit for coming out and, saying that he's sorry and, explain how he got to this decision. Back over to you, Natasha.
Thank you. I'm not done with you yet. I just want to pick at you a little bit there. So you shared that it's your personal view that he got this information from someone. Is it that you're saying that the information was correct, or perhaps he got this information and the information wasn't correct? I just wanted you to clarify that for us.
Well, what he shared is what he shared. So I would say he got incorrect information from somewhere. That's what I would think. I don't think if he got information from one of his reliable sources, then he would question the validity of it. So I would say that, he shared what he got. But, he's just saying, all right, I got this out there in the public sphere, so I'm taking responsibility for it. And, that's really admirable.
Okay, okay, get you there. And and I see this comment here in the chat, Dexton, you know, that is a good point there, because local government is different from central government. And I believe persons know that. So general election is the body or the party who will control the government. So with the local government election, that is where you have your councillors, they should be working closely with the communities in terms of representation and providing you with certain support or services, right? And I also saw a comment, and in the context of St. Thomas, and that perhaps the PNP might ask for a magisterial recount. That is, I believe that might be the case. Not saying it is going to be, but when you look at the closeness of it, then one would understand or assume that that perhaps is going to happen. So welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. The WhatsApp number to phone us is in the chat, but if you're going to call, let us ensure that we're keeping it respectful. All right, we don't want to get in any troubles here. We're not going to bash anybody, because we want to ensure that we have this space to always come to, all right, where we can share and learn. In the context of who won, what I am going to say, as I said last evening, because I am going to be very cautious, because based on what has been happening, the JLP, they have the advantage right now in terms of leading based on the number of municipalities unofficially. We are yet to get an official result from the Electoral Office of Jamaica. And for me, that is not looking good for us. All right. So we just have to wait until we get that official result. Will it come tomorrow? We'll see. But I'll just say right now, based on what we see unofficially, the Jamaica Labour Party is leading, and this is a closely contested election. So the elections were closely contested. There is also an update in ANOVA where there was one, division. Is it ANOVA? I believe it's ANOVA. For the JLP, it's a clean sweep for the PNP based on an update, right? So again, things are perhaps changing somewhat. So we just want to be cautious in terms of making, certain statements. So right now, as we know it, or the JLP is with the advantage right now in the context of having more municipalities, so the parish councils, than what PNP has now unofficially. All right, so welcome, welcome. All right, so let us see here. And Julas, welcome, welcome. All right, welcome. And Stebe, welcome, welcome. Virgil, welcome, welcome. All right. And Mad Thing, exactly. It's 13 municipalities, so we are not going to see a tie like that because Kingston and St. Andrew merging there. So somebody will win even with one municipality. So we'll see how that goes. Again, it's a very closely contested election and 29.6%. So, the people, they were pretty much, split in terms of their votes or, who they want to support. So we just respect the people's decision, but we want the Electoral Office of Jamaica to, give us an update as to, what is happening. We really need to hear from them, get some official results. But, all in all, I believe there is lots for, for both parties to take away from this election. I feel that perhaps the JLP, they had, a higher expectation going into this one. So now they're perhaps, going back to the table, going back to the drawing board to see what they need to do for general election. And, general election, to me, carries a bit more enthusiasm than local government for me. As I mentioned perhaps last night or the night before, it's the first time I am seeing so much energy from both sides going into a local government, election. So that was good and definitely a win for the Jamaican people. Because at the end of the day, we're all Jamaicans and we want what is best for our communities, our parishes and our country. Let me just check if I'm missing any calls here. And guys, asking you for the 10 subscribers. Let's keep running it up. And I'm hoping that we're at 200 likes now. All right, Denise, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. So the chat is pretty quiet right now. So Rurian, I'm going to circle back to you and then we try to move on to some other stories. So unless persons want to share some more about Cliff, but let me just circle back to you.
Yes, Natasha Lee, thanks for coming back here. I was reading through the comments and I was, I have to, side with this person who is in the chat that says that Cliff has never made any sort of errors like this in the past, so he's usually credible. So he's, wondering why that error was made at this point in time. So, it's baffling to really think and say that he had done that, but we are not sure what happened there. But as things get clearer, as things go on, as time passes by, we might be able to figure out how that might have happened. As he did his best to explain, but let's just for me, I'm just commending him on him just coming forward and saying I erred and I am sorry. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that. I'm going to take time out to welcome everyone who is here. Thank you so much for your support. Please remember to like and subscribe, to this channel so that we can always continue the conversation whenever there's, a trending topic that you want to talk about. So we can, form this relationship where when we're going to come on to talk about these issues. So, thank you so much for the support. I'm going to check again to see how you're doing with the likes. We have over 200 people here, over 300, a matter of fact, and we still haven't gotten up to 100 likes. Guys, if you like what we're doing here, please show us that you really and truly like that. Even if you're here and you don't want to comment, you don't want to call, please feel free to just close the chat for a moment, hit that thumbs up button to let us feel that that you're with us, you're supporting us, and you're appreciating this work that we're putting in. We totally appreciate having you here with us because we get a lot of insights from your contribution to this channel. So we want you to continue to be here and support us this along this path. So thanks again to all the persons who have subscribed. We're 6 away from 100 likes, and please, I'm asking you, we'll just get over 100 likes. I would love to see us go over that three figures there because show us that you're in solidarity with the kind of work that we're putting in. And also, if you're not a subscriber yet, please, we're asking you to subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to grow in this regard. Natasha, if you're ready, I'm going to pass back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. And I'm seeing Desiree in there is saying hello, Cliff, straight out of Connecticut. So thanks for sharing. John, welcome. John is asking, John, we're yet to get the official, results from the EOJ, but based on what we know so far with the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation being, given to the PNP, the JLP is still with the advantage. All right, so we'll await the EOJ, and I don't know what is taking them so long, but let us allow the process to unfold, and at some point, the director will definitely have to come and, talk to the public. So I guess we'll get some understanding. So maybe we'll be here all week into the weekend talking about the local government elections because, as you know, once we get the updates, we want to ensure that we're sharing with you, members of our Voices in Education community. So,
Natalie, just to cut you for a minute, thank
sure.
you guys. We're at 100 likes. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you have gotten your 10 subscribers yet, Natalie, but we're over 100 likes. Thank you guys for appreciating the work that we're putting in, and we totally appreciate you. Back to you, Natalie.
Thank you. Perhaps I need to give them another voice, because I would love to get some subscribers. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Voices in Education. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, subscriber, or listener, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. With that said, we're in a little competition here. So Ruren is taking likes and I'm taking subscribers. So please, guys, hit the subscription button and, help me to stay in this competition this evening. All right. And Star Trek, I see you there. I see you there. I see you there, Star Trek. All right. So we want to take a little turn now. So let me just go back to the slide here where you can see that WhatsApp number. I feel that once it's up, persons are more likely to call us than talk. All right, so official results still not ready, and we have heard some persons, leaders, making some statements. All right. One person, I guess, left the JLP, now at the PNP, and one is, a JLP member. So we're going to start with the scamming one, and would love to hear your views on that, and then we balance, we keep things fair and balanced, So once whatever, we're not aligning with, it's Jamaica we're talking about. We're talking about our country here. So I would love to hear your views. So I'm just going to try and get the recording here, going, and let us see how this one works. So let me see if I can get this one. And let me tell you straight up. All right, so let me get this one going for you. And I speak to the youth man them for the corner, especially one who call themselves Chopper. Let me tell you straight up. I mean, can speak openly. I have no problem with a man if he want chop. Because them chop us during slavery. So nothing wrong if we chop them down. My only problem with the chopping is when you bingo and you score. Use the money wisely. Yes. Set up yourself. Yes. Open up business. Yes. Make sure mommy look good. Yes. Make sure your baby mother look good. Yes. But don't take the money and use energy and wash car. And use US dollar light cigarette. Alright. Full business now. True. There's a reason why money is called liquidity. Yes. It's liquid. And if you don't tie it on your hand, it leaks out your hand no matter what you have. Yes. So nothing wrong with what you are doing. All right, so would love to hear from you in this context, in the context of chopping, from a political leader saying that nothing is wrong with scamming. Is this the type of politics that we want to see from our leaders? And let me just add, and in terms of balancing this conversation, this is Dennis Meadows. I saw an apology or a withdrawal statement, and so he placed that out there in the media. But this was what was said. We want to hear from you. What should we do as Jamaicans in this context? So we're going to start here, and then we move to another one to talk about. So I'm just checking in the chat. Rurian, do you want to start us off with this one? Scamming, the man saying nothing nothing wrong with it. The only problem we have are pretty much when them waste the money. Would love to hear from you in that context. Is this what we should expect from our leaders, from our representatives? Is this becoming of a leader?
Just to weigh in on this, Natasha, I can't support this statement any at all. Leaders should be ones setting an example, and I can't support anyone who is going to be supporting or and giving that sort of support to persons who are going to do things that are illegal in any way or form. And it doesn't matter who you are, persons must make sure that their value system and, know that your values should be something that is displayed whenever you are wherever you are, whether or not you're in public or private. But I think that's a disappointing statement that was made, and he didn't only represent himself or his family, but he represented one of the political parties there as well, and that is going to be damaging to the party. based on what was said there. But you're at one of those conferences and you're there, you're in the vibe and stuff, but you still have to be selective of what you're saying because once it goes out, you can't reel it in, and so you have to just be careful what you're saying, especially when you're in public. But I can't support scamming in any way or form, so I would not associate myself with that statement that he made.
Yeah, for sure. It was so disturbing to hear. And when you think about all that is happening, and as a leader, think about, us, on the international stage, and, for somebody to be publicly saying or making those statements, very unfortunate. And, not that's not what we're expecting from our leaders in that context, because what are you trying to say here? It is okay to scam people, to get involved in criminal activities. That is not okay. What message are you sending to youths? Message are you sending to the people who are looking up to you for guidance? So that one, was definitely tough to listen to. And I see you there in the chat, Owen. And Michael, see you there too. Denise, I see you there. And Mr. Yi, see you there as well. And Virgil, get that. And Caroline, I see you there. Talk like some illiterate person. Well, it's just unfortunate. And I don't know if it's the energy at these campaigns that is trying to pull them, or that's how you're going to relate to someone. That's how you feel that you can get the support from people based on where you are, to say, well, this is, I mean, I have a problem with it. Pretty much his only problem is when you take the money and you buy anything, you buy not anything to wash your car, take care of your mother, do whatever, your baby mother, whatever. But it was very unfortunate to hear that. And Mark, as I mentioned earlier, I believe he was a JLP senator, and something happened, and then he's over there for the PNP. I believe the caretaker, perhaps somewhere in Trelawney there. And again, very unfortunate that we have to hear, that kind of those kind of statements, coming from, one of our leaders. And Arctic Fire, welcome, welcome. Arctic is saying greetings, voices in Ed. Enough respect to the panel, especially the Most High, guide and protect. Absolutely, blessings, blessings. So we're going to go to Warmington now, and just to hear from him, making statements there. And he is associated, as we might know, with the Jamaica Labour Party. So I'm just going to get that one ready for you. So I'm just trying to find that one. And to get it ready for you, so that we can hear what Warmington is saying in this one. All right.
I'm a member of parliament. Okay? Listen right now. I'm a minister of work. I'm a member of parliament. No PFP council going to spend my money. In charge of stuff.
All right, so that was Warmington there from the JLP, and what he's saying that he's in charge, is the Minister of Work, and he's a member of Parliament, and no PMP councillor now go spending money. All right, so again, expectations from our political representatives. What do we want to see? And remember, we have a say. We can vote for them, or we can choose not to vote for them. Or we can say to the party that you're supporting that I like you, I want to support your party, but this person is not good for us in terms of representation, right? How do we, communicate that? Are you satisfied with, leadership that is not representative of you, your values, what you'd like to see for your community, your constituency, your parish, your country? How can you make a difference? We have so much power. And you know what? These videos, I guess they came across from social media based on, what is happening. Social media is a very powerful tool, and we can use it in a responsible way to get our messages across. What do we expect from leaders if this is the type of, you know, nasty politics that we're seeing, and, the attitude that we're getting is just not positive and not good. And when you go into politics, right, as a representative, say you're JLP or PNP, if you win, say you win in Maypen, right, in Central Clarendon, it doesn't matter. You should be representing all the persons in the constituency. It's not just the persons who are green, if it's the green team in power, or if it's the orange team, not just the orange team. We need to move away from that. That is causing too much in terms of issues for us, right? If it is that we want a better Jamaica, we have to think about country in that context. Rihanna, just circling you to find out, if you're a counselor, you're not gonna spend the money, Let me hear from you.
Well, I'm not that interested in politics, so I don't I'll be a counselor in any way or form. But we have to be interested in politics in the sense that these are the people who we are depending on to make certain decisions for us. And when we have all voted, and wherever we decide to put that mark, at the end of the day, whoever is selected needs to take care of all the persons in the constituency. And we want them to do that to the best of their ability. But if he, Mr. Warmington, with his warm statements, are going to come out and ensure that, the councillors know that they're not going to be spending his money, it's really distasteful. And, to be honest with you, I am not surprised. Mr. Warmington has been a person who is like that based on other occurrences, in the past. So it's not totally surprising coming from him. But sometimes you hope that with experience, that persons would learn from the past, and build on their own character, and improve, just to develop as a person. But I'm not sure if Mr. Warmington will ever change. And it's, as I said earlier too, he's not only representing himself and his family, he's representing the party as well. And these are issues that helps to put the leaders into some precarious positions sometimes, because some of these persons, they get the support based on how they talk. They get the support from the people. And sometimes we support these guys because we're aligned in terms of party, but we need to think about the other persons too, who are in the constituents. If I were running as a councillor, or if I were in his position any at all, I would want to have all the persons in my constituency voting for me. So I would want to ensure that persons who are not on my team, who is not saying the same color that I am saying, that they get taken care of as well, so that they can consider to switch over and come over on my side. So that's all I have to say as it relates to this one. But Mr. Warmington, I would just say being himself.
Thank you for sharing, Ruri, and thanks for sharing that. And let me also add that E2, pretty much retracted his comments. All right. So what he was saying, to the extent that my comments, which were made in the heat of the moment and perhaps could have been more clearly stated, have been misinterpreted as endorsing victimization, I unequivocally reject any such sentiment. All right. And that's pretty much, what he was saying. And, as I said, he withdrew the statement and apologized to Jamaicans. And, at this point, we need to be responsible. Warmington has been in the politics, and as Jamaicans, we can request or demand of our leaders better. We don't want to see this. We just don't want to see it on either side. We just don't want to see it. And I feel though that we have made, significant improvements in the context of, that traditional politics. It has changed somewhat, but is it where we want it to be? I don't think so. But at the same time, we have to appreciate, the improvements based on where we're coming from. But there is so much more that can be done, and nothing is wrong if it is that we're holding our political leaders to a particular standard. They should be held to a higher standard. You're in the parliament, you're at parish councils or municipalities, you're representing the people's interests. How, let us say, how do you feel, hearing somebody, going talking about scamming, or somebody victimizing another person because they're not a part of their political party? So guess what? But I think so not get no money, and I go suffer over it. Like, we need to move away from, that these kind of, behaviors. It doesn't suit us well, and especially on the international, stage. It doesn't look good. Not looking good. Not looking good. Arctic, if I see you, Voices in Education, Realist Platform, Truth Empress. Thank you so much. And Altia is saying that there's a particular council there in Clarendon that only fix the road where the JLP live, and they don't fix the I guess the sections where the PMP live. And and that's the same thing that we're talking about. We need to stop that. And we can stand up for something, because that is definitely important. But roads can be tricky sometimes, because, and I don't know why this is like that. Sometimes you have roads that are for the parish council, then you have NWA roads, and maybe roads that the MP, well, I guess that might be aligned with NWA, National Works Agency. So again, it is up to us sometimes as citizens to hold these bodies and representatives accountable, right? And to find out what is going on. And sometimes when you see your MP in parliament, right? And they're there, they're representing you. How many of us, you hear that the MP is going to be here having a meeting, and not saying a meeting with their party, that is different. A meeting with the entire constituency, or they start doing divisions by divisions, to hear your concerns, to find out what you would like to take, what you would want them to take to parliament. in the context of representation. How many of them, are doing that? And I'm just asking her in the chat this evening, have you had that experience where you're a member of parliament, and this is not that they're like at a JLP rally or meeting or a PNP rally or meeting, they're just talking with people just to find out their concerns and wanting to take it to the parliament to say they're putting something on the table and they want this to happen. How many of us have had that experience? Would love to hear from you, Ruren. Have you ever had that kind of experience where, you have your member of parliament just reaching out and wanting to touch base with the people in the constituency to find out, what would you want me to do as your MP in parliament? What are some of the top issues? And they kind of narrow that down and say, this is what I'm going to take on behalf of, my constituency.
Well, I've never experienced that any at all. One thing I've experienced though, whenever it's time for, it's in the election period, then, the MPs, the councillors, and, all of those persons tend to come around and, if things are distributed, and this is well known to all, persons get their shirts and everything else that goes along, goodie bag and all of that. But these people usually just come around when it is close to the election. So usually you will see your MP. Well, I can speak from my experience. If that's your experience, let us know in the chat. Where I want to see your MP election. Once you see certain people start come around and you know that it's the election that is coming up. And that's the kind of experience that I have had. And I don't know how connected or in touch these MPs are with their constituencies. But that is something that should change. And what I'm saying as well is, somebody mentioned about the roads and all of that. This is my take on it. And you mentioned some stuff too, not actually as it relates to the roads. Some roads might be for NWA, for parish council and whatever. But this is what I'm saying. If we have 10 roads in our constituents and you notice that one road gets fixed, then the next time you should see another road being fixed. And it should be a case where it is only focused on a particular side, or it should be something that is beneficial to most or all of the constituents. So I would say, that this road is traversed a lot, then that one should take precedence. And over time the entire constituency should have good roads. Maybe it's not going to be at the same time, but we should see incremental growth. But I'm not sure how committed the MPs are, the councillors are. But what was mentioned in the chat just now, I can have seen and heard of experiences where certain roads are done because of who lives there. So if it means that the roads in the constituents is going to be segmented based on the support, that is going to be the case. So I'm going to pass it back over to you, Natasha. I don't know anybody else who have had my experience, but that's kind of what I have experienced, living in my little place in Jamaica.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Rory. And for sure, most of the times when you see them, it's, campaigning time, election time. But, we just need to hold them accountable. So, and this is where too, access to information is important. So if you live in a community or a parish, we should be able to go online and figure out which road is for the councillor, which road is for MP or NWA. We need to have access to information, and this is something that we need to demand, from our representatives. So while you're going to parliament, it's not to warm benches and to collect money. It's really to work on behalf of the people. And I'm not saying that you don't have MPs working, Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is that there is so much that we, the people of Jamaica, want to see in the context of representation. It's more than just jumping up and down when it's close to election time and, having a vibe. And, with Jamaica, we have to understand, I say Jamaica have a very colorful politics in the sense where the vibes and it's going to come the music, the energy, and that is totally okay, because if you're enjoying your party and having time with them, that is okay. But when it comes down to business, when it comes down to representation, that is needed, that is necessary, and that is what we want from our leaders. We want our leaders to provide a Jamaica where we're proud of, and where we know that our children, our families, they're able to thrive. So we want to see that, definitely want to see that. On this point, at this point, I just want to ask for 10 subscribers. 10 subscribers. So if you haven't had the chance to subscribe, so you just close the chat there and you'll see the word subscribe there. Hit the subscription button, please. 10. You see, I'm taking it in 10. So 10 subscription, and that would be good. I'm not sure Ruben is doing with the likes there. And Owen, I see your comment there. And Arctic was talking about the amount of money allocated. All right. So just, checking some comments there. Welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. So, we started out by talking about, Cliff Hughes in the context of making an early call for the PNP, and we heard his apology there. And in the context of official results, I don't know what is taking the EOJ so long, but I guess they're going to get it right before coming to the Jamaican people, because after so long, it has to be, good. And also some other updates in the context of political leaders and what they're saying, in campaigns. So again, Jamaica land we love. We definitely, as citizens, need to ask for more. And we saw that too just with this election. Like, we want to be in the know, because persons reaching out, what is the result for here, who win here, and people just want to have access to information. We want to be connected, we want to know what is happening. And it's, for me, it doesn't look right not being able to have that access. And this is how you lower people's confidence in the system, because we want to know we're not having that access. So, then the trust issues, and, we're going to hear about the possibility of them a thief and then do this, because the transparency is not always there. We want to know, people want access to information, right? We don't want to wait, we want to see. So as soon as EOJ, they're updating their results, we should be able to just go on a page and click and see that as well. So that is what I believe we want to see. We want to have, access there in that context. Also, we were updated today that the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation was won by the People's National Party. So, we have been hearing about, ties. And so that one now is for the People's National Party. And Clarendon, that was also a part of that too, was given to the Jamaica Labour Party. And I'm just going to leave it at unofficially until we're able to hear, something official from the EOJ. And Altia is saying, I have seen your program for the first time and it's very informative. Thank you so much, Altia. Just hit the subscription button and that bell and select all so that you don't miss any updates. And Arctic is asking you guys to up with the like and, for real, really want the likes. And Virgil, real talk, sis, that's what I want for Jamaica. Definitely, definitely. And Arctic is saying, true Rasta, more love, enough respect to our chat grouping. Definitely. And, Althea, you mentioned that it's the first time you're seeing this program. So for you, Althea, and others who are here for the first time, this is a safe space. So we share and we learn from each other, right? We understand that we hold or we share different views or perspectives, and that is okay. This is a space where we can share that, but we do that in a respectful way to ensure that, everyone feels valued. You feel a sense of belonging, that you just want to come back here because you understand that you have a voice and you can share, without fear of, being bashed. So we don't do that here. We talk the things them, but we do it respectfully. We don't, we do it respectfully. Definitely. So welcome, welcome, and thank you so much so far for maintaining this safe space. So thank you so much, guys, for maintaining this safe space. The only thing we want to see, we could do better with some likes. So and subscription. Ask for 10. So let me see if I'm going to get 10 subscribers. So and if that is going to happen. But I know that you'll make it happen, and I know that you'll continue to share the word about this platform to your friends and family members so that we can continue to grow together and so that we can bring more programs to you, right? And we're trying our best with the limited resources that we have now to ensure that we're able to bring you information. So we do quite a few programs here. We do sports, so like Olympics coming up, we'll be doing that, Diamond League. So we talk about, quite a lot. It's voices in education. So anything that can bring you some awareness in that context, we are on it. We also support students. So if you hit that like button, the subscription button, and you share, share, share. So the more we have, in terms of that, we are better able to help students. So that's a part of our goal here as well, in that sense, to help students as best as we can. So please, don't forget to support us in any way that you can. The easiest ways, liking, subscribing, sharing, right? Easiest ways. And we can do it. We can do it. And together, we will continue to grow and become stronger each day or by each live, each video, for sure. Rurian, I'm circling you. Do you have anything you'd like to share with us? No, we haven't had a caller yet, and I'm wondering if the system is working, but it should be working. So let me just circle you, Rurian.
Yes, Natasha, I just want to endorse what you're saying in terms of the support. Thank you guys for the new persons who have just joined us. We really appreciate you and all the persons who have been with us for some time now. We totally appreciate you as well. It's kind of strange. We haven't gotten a call so far. Hopefully somebody will call in and share with us, share something that they think is really important with us. Would love to have that first caller, coming through. And I would like to get a few more likes as well because we're having over 200 people here. We just have a bit over 100 likes. So that's not reflecting too well on us right now. But we do value your support and we do value the time that they're spending here with us. But yes, Natasha Lee, thank you for the updates as well. I'm going to pass this one back over to you if you have anything else that you would want to share with us today.
All right, thank you. So I have a clip here from, the councillor elect for the Kintyre division. So Vivian Brown Bond, who represents the PNP. So that was the division based on our understanding, or based on the information that we got, that pretty much, gave the PNP the win and control of the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. So I'm just going to get that ready so that we can share that clip with you. So stick and stay, guys.
Well, I feel indeed good, and especially having the team working around me. I want to applaud them for the commitment and the sacrifices that we have made, because too many dangers toil and stare we have already come, and we are overcome through the blood of the Lamb.
Well, I'm happy that we have a new councillor for the Kintyre division, first of all. She has consolidated to make sure we are current at 2020. And we will hold her hand and teach her the ropes at the KCMC. But more importantly, we will work together for the betterment of the people of Kintyre and the betterment of Kingston St. Andrew.
Good time come, the man must come out and go home. Him say we can't sleep with the door open, nothing like that. Be alive. We're tired of him now in the yard. I just come from town and I heard this, but I was ready. My family called me and said, put on your clothes. And I said, oh, I'm ready. Long time I want to go. Thank you. How you feel about winning? I just say, when I did hear so we lose, I did see. I couldn't get up out of my bed shoes, and now I'm energized, I'm ready for anything. We can eat good food now. We don't have to walk on road where we put a twist in a patrol. And guess what now? God is on time. Well,
All right, there you have it there. So that was Vivian Brown and, some PMP supporters, party supporters there, sharing. And again, that was a big win there for the PNP in the context of gaining the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. Now, I'm not sure what the JLP's move will be in that context, given today's update here. So we'll still see how that works. And again, there's still a couple of municipalities that might be very close, right? And so we might see some magisterial recounts, perhaps for certain divisions, right? And that will unfold perhaps later this week, because for them to do that, they will need, I guess, the official results from the Electoral Office of Jamaica. So we are awaiting the EOJ in that context. And Howard Tracy, I'll just say welcome. I'll just say the JLP has the advantage right now, and we'll just await the official, results. And Arctic Fire is saying, looking forward to 500, just like the live, love your support. Yes, guys, so if you keep liking, then it means more persons will come on. Can we get to 500 tonight? That would be awesome. So just like and share and hit the subscription button as well. And I see you there, Yvonne. Welcome, welcome. And is this Eugita? Welcome and welcome. So Eugita is saying JLPS 7 and PMPS 6. I saw that number 2, but I didn't get to go check. So let me see what I had from last evening here. So we had 4 last evening for the PNP. And then we had, I believe, 8 for the JLP. So, Eugita, can you let us know the municipalities in the chat? I'm just going to check here. And I know that the PNP now with the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. So did they get back One of those, perhaps St. Mary or St. Thomas. So again, guys, close, and Adrian General close, but I'll say the JLP has the advantage. All right. So again, we're awaiting official, results in that context. All right. So Rurian, I'm hoping that I can turn over to you just to check, to get some updates on the count, that the latest count in terms of municipalities. Are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here, Natasha Lee. Yeah, so I guess you're going to be digging for some information there. But really good that we can get some information as it relates to this local government election. Hopefully your constituency, the persons that you have been supporting, those are the persons who you'll get, and they will live up on those promises. But a lots of lessons to learn here from this local government election. We have to be careful, be mindful of what we hear and the information that we convey, because when you have certain responsibilities as a particular leader, and we have seen that on many different levels, you have to make sure that the information that you're putting forward is something that is authentic, and something that is true. We have seen where Hughes, he put forward that that the PNP had won the election, and things have turned since then. We have also seen where the opposition leader Mark Golden, he came up with his statement as well, you know, pretty much giving thanks for all the supporters, and acknowledging and showing respect to all the leaders, past leaders of the party as well, announcing himself, putting forward a pretty decent victory speech. But because of misinformation, his information wasn't correct. So we need to learn these lessons, and make sure that whatever we're putting forward is something that is valid and is coming from the right sources. So that's the reason why these elections, and many persons have the question. I'm seeing the questions coming out in the chat on numerous occasions, and who won this election. But this, you can't categorically say that the JLP or the PNP have won this election until that information is coming directly from the electoral office. But as it stands now, it's the JLP that is in the lead, but we can't say categorically that they have won until that information comes from the electoral office. And tonight we also looked on some persons who were in the public spaces, and they made certain comments, and those comments were not so wholesome. Mr. Warmington, was out there again thinking about his own constituents, and he wanted to just make it known that he's going to pretty much bully or keep all the money to his side of the fence. And that's not something that we want in our politics any at all. And I don't remember the name of the other gentleman that was talking about scamming. Scamming has been so associated with Jamaican, with the Jamaican population now. And when we are influencing the younger their generation, you might not be cognizant or say, all right, you're not going to go to your child and say, oh, go out there and scam. But music is out there, people are talking about it, And when leaders are going to go out there and say, all right, I stand in solidarity with people who are scamming, then, it's a big cause for concern. So, we have to make sure that we are taking, responsibility for whatever we are putting out there. We have to know that we are leaders. We might not be a political leader. We might not be, a counselor or a member of parliament, but our kids are looking up to us. They're looking at what we're doing, and they will, pick up on these and probably emulate them as well. So we have to be careful in whatever we are doing in terms of leadership and whatever position that we find ourselves in. Natasha Lee, is
Yeah, I'm here. So
you're still
I am
here?
not. I'm seeing 7-6 from the Gleaner, but not seeing a breakdown. So that's in favor of the Jamaica Labour Party still leading, and just getting some mix up data as to the KSAC, but still they're saying PMP. Now we're hearing about popular votes. So again, we just need to just wait on the EOJ to give us some official results. And what I have said is that this election, very closely contested, and I am not surprised if we get something different from the EOJ when they're done. But that is not good for Jamaica in the context of the delay, and we are not hearing much from them. I'm just going to try and see. I know it was about 80. Was it 80 divisions that they say they had? I'm just I'm just going to try and find that information in terms of the preliminary, results. Well, not results, in terms of their counting so far. All right. And, persons, are concerned about, what is happening. And for sure, you know, concerns are going to be there in that context, because what has happened is that they have left us as a country without a definite result, definite answers in the context of the two major political parties, and officially who has won the election. And so that part is not looking so good in that context. So critical there for us. And that is why, information should be readily available to us, right? So for sure. I don't know, Rurian, I'm not seeing
Yeah,
no one has called yet.
yeah, and I,
And
I
I'm
agree with
wondering,
you.
go
Go ahead.
ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm just
That's
saying
it.
that I agree with you with the availability of the information. That would be really handy for us as Jamaicans. And just to put this thing into context too, Natasha Lee, the turnout for the voting turnout was just, let's call it 30%. And days after the election has taken place, the results cannot come forth. So I'm just thinking that if the full population, or let's say 60 or 90% of the population turned out to vote, then maybe we would not
Problem.
be get yeah, we would not be getting this result until probably April. So that's pretty
And
much.
yeah,
Go
that's for
ahead.
sure. So we want, for sure, we want, results to be good in terms of counting, right? But at the same time, given the nature of what's happening, and it's an election, we want to ensure that persons are getting results in a reasonable time. Now, if it is that the EOJ, based on its current capacity, right, is unable to deliver to us, say, within 24 hours, the official results, it is telling me that perhaps they need more resources, more, persons in terms of working to ensure that we can get this done. Because other than that, it's going to be problematic. And I mean, again, we want to emphasize some persons don't see local government elections as important, but they are important. While it might not be to the level of central government, it is still important. And so the expectation from the EOJ, and especially in a political climate where you have the opposition leader, Mark Golding, given all the divisions in terms of leadership in the PNP, right? And he's trying to cement himself as, a firm leader for the People's National Party. He has been working with his team, and I don't think this is good. It's a good feeling for either, side. But when you think about the political climate and what it means to the people, so for example, time come, right? Or in the context to say, are we having prosperity? Do we need to go back to the drawing board based on what we're seeing? Is it that the electorate is sending us a message? Then I feel that EOJ's response, and might I add that, the director has been pretty much countering and defending what is happening at the EOJ in terms of, the count. And I will just share here where he said the preliminary results were delivered the same night. So I'm not sure to who, because we didn't get everything. Some divisions or seats weren't called. There's another phase, and it has always happened in elections. There has never been a time that within 24 hours it was completed in terms of the recount. So that's what the director there is saying. So Brown is saying that. And he was mentioning that the counting should conclude, today. And I doubt we got that, but we'll see what happens, tomorrow. All right. And as we shared last evening, there were some concerns too from Cafe in the context of, workers, having some issues at, certain polling divisions where they were not able, for example, to stay for the counting. So again, we need to work on those issues. All right. And Yard, BMW, welcome. Perhaps you got that information. Dark side. Mary, welcome. And Mary saying, woy, woy, what a fight. Father, step in and help us. All we need is the truth, for sure. And the truth about it right now is that we're not yet at 200 likes, so we can do better with the likes. And let me see if I can ask for 10 subscribers. All right, so hit the like button. The number is on screen, guys. So give me a call. Would love to hear your voice. This is not just, our voices, well, like Ruben and I, but, it's for everyone. So would love to hear your voice. So don't be afraid to call in, man. Even if you just want to say hi, hello, you like the program, you like what we're doing, keep it up. Would love to hear from you. Who is going to call first, Ruben? Who do you believe is going to call first? Male or female?
Well, the man them have to represent for the males. Males, there's gonna be a male man that's gonna call in and show that, they're bold and is gonna step forward tonight. So I'm saying male. We're gonna keep it gender biased here. So I'm gonna say that a male will call in. And guys, it's not so bad. Just call in, and you will see that it's not as hard as you think. I know a few persons are considering it, but it's quite fine, and it's a safe space for you to express yourself. So give yourself a chance, put yourself out there. Take a little risk, and see how that comes off for you. So we're looking forward to getting our first call. If if it's just to test the system to make sure that it work tonight, just give us that
Yeah,
call so that we can, yeah.
want to know if the system is working. So looking forward to hearing from you. And Ruria, nothing is wrong with you wanting to take the lead, Sometimes it's okay if the men if they take the lead, that's fine too. We can do with the soft life sometimes. Oh well, yeah. So nothing is wrong with that. So let's see who will call us first. Would love to hear from you. Not seeing a lot of, where persons are tuned in from. So Jamaica, are you here? Montserrat, Bonaire, Guyana. Where are you tuned in from? USA, Canada, UK? Where are you tuned in from? Let us know in the chat as well. And we love to know where our, supporters are from. You can just comment in the chat. Remember to close that X there and just touch the thumbs up button. The subscription button is right over there as well, not over on the other side. Hit that subscription button and I'm begging you for 10. So let's see if we do good with this set of 10 here. So begging you for 10. So let's keep going. All right. Still waiting for, that call or two or three. Wanting to hear Tampa, Florida is here. Welcome, Ashton. Welcome, welcome. And thanks for commenting there. So we have Florida here. All right. So
And
would love to hear
Natasha,
from you too. Go ahead,
yes,
Ruel.
Natasha, I'm butting in here just to talk about the Arctic fire. If it's Arctic and fire, it must be hot. So we're bigging up Arctic fire for liking this one. So thank you so much. He said that this one looks really close. The election is a dead heat, and that's it's
Yeah.
pretty close
Oh,
to call for sure. But thank you for the support, Arctic fire. We really appreciate you supporting us by liking up the video. Hope you have subscribed already and commenting. Really appreciate it.
all right. And Susie, welcome. And Susie, I'll say the Jamaica Labour Party, they're leading or having the advantage. And we'll just await the official results from the Electoral Office of Jamaica. Anne Marie Brown Walters is saying, mic check, mic check, mic check. Anne Marie, give me a call. Love to hear from you. And Arctic is in Canada. So Canada, Jamaica is here. And USA, Pete, welcome, welcome. Guys, I like acknowledging the supporters here. It gives me that sense of connection that we are a family. So we love to hear from you, as
Yeah,
well,
man, big
even
up
if you're
yourself,
just
Pete.
typing the chat. And Eugita, hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Cooper, is saying I just subscribed and like. Thank you so much. All right.
Enough
So
respect, enough
definitely.
respect.
For sure. So I'm still waiting. I don't think I have everything right in front of me. I don't think I'm going to miss the call. So still waiting here for, the call to come in. And I just got like 2 out of the 10 that I just asked for in terms of subscription. So let's keep going. Let's go for another 8. We can do it. We can do it. All right, so let's keep going. So hit the subscription button. All right, Arctic up like 7. And Susie, so Susie, right now we're getting that, the count is 7-6. That's from the Gleaner. And but based on what we were working with and the updates that we have right here, it would be 8-5. Right? So we're not too sure if the EOJ had, made some changes there. So last evening we had the JLP with St. James, St. Anne, Portland, St. Thomas, which was a close one. Clarendon, that was in a tie. We're told that that was given to the JLP. And we have St. Mary, St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, so some close ones there. And for the PNP, we have Anova, Westmoreland, Manchester, St. Catherine, and today we heard that they got the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation. So again, we just want to have some official results from the EOJ. So we are very cautious in terms of our statements because we just want to ensure that we have the correct information, and right now we're still awaiting the EOJ in terms of letting us know officially who won the election. So unofficially, I would say the Jamaica Labour Party is in the lead. All right. So Omado, welcome. Audrey, welcome, or Audrey, welcome. All right. And Arctic is saying just tune in, families. All right. Just your fingers. All right. So hit the like button, hit the subscription button. All right. And let's continue to grow together. And the WhatsApp number is on screen. It is also pinned in the chat. So don't be afraid to give us a call here. Would love to hear from you. And let us run up the likes. And I'm seeing, let us see, I need some more subscribers. I believe we need about 6 more. So we're going. All right, getting a call here. So let me just take this caller. Hello, caller, you're live.
Yes, this is your BMW calling from USA.
Oh, give me your name. I heard BMW.
Yeah, BMW.
Okay, calling from the USA. How are you?
I'm fine and also frustrated at the same time. I like you because it's a bunch of people going around saying different things, and I bet my money. So I'm trying to be clear.
So how much money did you put on this one?
Well, that's $1,500 US cash, so that's a lot of money.
Wow. And which party, if you like to share, which party did you put your money on?
Well, to tell you the truth, I choose the JLP because as a street kid growing up in Jamaica, Mr. Shaw, Harvey Shaw, is who sent me to school.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, that's where I bet on. But in terms of everything, whether PNP win or Labour Right win, once they're doing the right thing to support the youth,
yes,
I'm okay with it.
Yes.
The youth need more guidance and more infrastructure and things to turn to better themselves in life. Because at the end of the day, if you don't really have nowhere to turn, that's when you're gonna really turn to a thing where you never have to turn to. I was one of the good ones. The way how I grew up, because I grew up as a street kid and I was a hustler.
Okay. Are you still hustling? Because you're going to put money for election there?
Yeah, I'm still hustling, but also I'm looking into come back into Jamaica to start an orphanage.
Okay.
So I think whether win, lose, or draw,
right,
the people of Jamaica gotta come together and also look out for the youths.
Definitely.
Regardless who win.
That's
and
it.
if a MP not, if a councillor not doing what them supposed to do in their constituency, don't care if you die hard or die hard not, because you have your youth them to live for it, you have kids, so you gotta vote for their future. Don't take that little $5,000 and think it's gonna last you every day. You understand? You have to just tell yourself, say, boy, you see who is on the ground doing the work, so you go from, you judge off based off that. But regardless what, we are Jamaican, we gotta live in peace and love. And we cannot make politics separate us,
Real talk. Definitely.
Real BMW.
That's
I
my
must say,
take. I'm at work. I was just calling in here.
Thanks for calling. Really appreciate the call. And I guess for your sake, I hope things go your way.
Well, either way, I still not lose because, it's just a debate. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some.
That's it. That's life.
I don't mind. I'm not gonna kill the man who win me because me lose.
That's life, and that's the perspective that we should, hold.
Yes. All right. So thank you and enjoy your night. I'm still watching the program.
Thank you, and tell the co-workers to hit up the subscription button, and share, share, share.
I will.
All right, thank you so much for calling.
All right.
So so that's actually, I guess I took that one. Hopefully the luck will go with BMW as it relates to his bet. But he shared some really good points there, and the fact that he was helped by a politician. But if you go deeper into what he was saying, because he made real good sense. You know, he was helped by a politician, but he was given an opportunity in terms of education, and he made good use of it, and that's awesome to see. And the fact that he has a heart to help the youth, that is really admirable too, that he wants to open an orphanage to help the youth. Because, sometimes people just needs a little bit of hope. People need a little bit of hope, and you need that one person to reach out to you and, give you that support. And he got that, and that's what he wants to do. So, must say kudos to him, and, all the best with that plan going forward. Not respect, bro.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Ronika Forbes, welcome. And Eugita is saying, yes, pronunciation is correct. Thanks for letting me know because, that's a part of, feeling, a sense of belonging, getting the names correctly. And Marie, I see you there and way to go. I'm supporting that caller there from Eugita. So, Susie, right now from my personal account, I have 8-5, all right, for the JLP5, but I saw 7-6 not too long ago from the Gleaner. All right, and we'll perhaps get some better information tomorrow. So just ensure that you turn on your post notification. All right, so ensure that you subscribe and you tap that bell and select all. So once we go live, you'll get the update. And by the looks of things, we'll be talking about this election perhaps for the rest of the week into the weekend. All right, so and Arctic is there saying real talk me G and yeah DMW use parts respect. So yeah DMW respect all the time. All right. So, guys, you see now you can call in, right? You can definitely call in and let me see how, I'm doing for the subscription here. All right, guys, we need this looks like two more to make it to that 10. All right, and then we go again. All right, sounds good. Two more for the 10 and then we go again. Hello, my friend. All right, so back to you, Rurian. Again, from the chat there, we can see that a lot of persons want answers, and it's unfortunate that our system is like that. And I
Yeah.
see you there. I take condolences to the youth there. Let me just try and get this comment up. Sometimes my comments they don't come in as how you would expect them to. Okay, condolences to the youth who lost his life along, I guess, the journey. Sorry for the lady who lost a foot. More love in the house. And definitely, Arctic, you raised, some good points there in the context of the campaign and, being responsible. And again, it's a part of that, vibes and but safety is important, similar to how we heard earlier from those political leaders and the campaign draw them out. But your values, man, you have to think about safety, well-being, and that of others as well. So, that was very, very sad for sure. Very, very sad. That's not how we would want, those contexts to end, you going to support and then it ended up being so tragic. So for sure, we're really sad about that. Very, very unfortunate, situations. All right, since Ruben got the male caller correct, so am I going to get a female calling in next?
Well, I certainly hope you'll get, that, it's kind of like that with elections too, where the votes are coming in and things are swinging from left to right. So
That's
I
it.
guess somebody's dialing up. So look out for that call coming in anytime now. But, as Arctic Fire was saying, it's sad that we had some persons, as you would say, some casualties along the way as it relates to the election campaign. But hope that is a catalyst going forward that persons, try to be as responsible as possible when they're on these campaign trails. And we have seen lots of persons, doing lots of stuff. Like you could actually call them stunts as it relates to these campaigns, being on top of vehicles, hanging out of vehicles and stuff like that. But we have to value safety. We only have one life, and we don't want that life to end or to be altered in any way. If you're losing a limb or anything like that. But my heart goes out to the families of those persons who have suffered in that regard, and also to that young lady who lost the limb. So we never want anything like that to happen. But let us take the lesson from the situation as well, so that that doesn't reoccur.
Yeah, for sure. Life lessons, and we just learn. And that could be another conversation. And I feel like, political leaders, they need to get it right. Because if, Rurian, if police were out there doing the jobs, you probably hear, oh, because this party or that party, why police no one if we do this. And so it's just sad. But again, our democracy, or it's maturing, our electorate, it's maturing. We have seen some improvement, but we still want more. Similar to how we're expecting more from leaders, it goes the other way as well. Because if we don't hold certain things, important, then we're just not gonna take what we get, right? And it's that too. But again, very, very unfortunate, situations, because I'm sure, as we heard with the student, the child there, he was happy and wanted to go to the rally, telling persons that, it's a PNP rally, and so that was just, unfortunate. All right, so welcome, welcome, guys, if you're just tuning in. So thanks for the persons who gave me the 10 subscribers. We're on our way to 10 more, so could we get, 10 more subscribers? So 10. I really want 15, but let's start with 10. 10. All right. So we're just taking it easy. So as you come, if this is your first time here, remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. All right, so hit the subscription button if this is your first time here. Let us know in the chat so we can give you a big voices in education. Welcome. Would love to hear from you too. The WhatsApp number is on screen, and it is also pinned in the chat. So WhatsApp call only. Would love to hear from you. And Eugita is saying, happy to see her in high spirits nonetheless. That is good. That is good. All right. So we're waiting to hear from you. How do you feel about this election in general? How do you feel about it? Did you have, some expectations that were not met? How you feel about it? You feel comfortable with what is happening in the country? So we're not talking about party now, but overall, in the context of Jamaica, how do you feel about Jamaica given the recent, happenings? Gladstone, welcome. and Gladstone is in the US there, all right? And Money Millie. And Molly Millie is asking about IMF and Jamaica there. All right, I see you there. Eugita, you're feeling confused. And I feel that way too, because when you want answers and you want, you just want to have a clear sense of direction and you're not yet there, but we'll wait and see what happens, you know? All right,
Natasha,
guys.
just to plug this in there a little bit. Do you think the voter turnout will be the same when the election is called? The central election will be called. When that is called, do you think the voter turnout will be round about the same, or more persons will vote for the MPs? What is your take on that? And guys in the chat, you could share what you think. Do you think we're going to see a greater amount of voters than the 29% that we had for the local government election? Do you think that the general election will attract more persons voting? That's my quick question I want to throw out there. It's not actually if you want to take it on, it's over in your court now.
Thanks, Ryan. That's a very good question. I would say, and this is off the top of my head right now, right? In that context of, general elections, I would say that general elections are usually, right, more supported than, let's say, local government elections. I feel that the parties, right, they use the local government election to pretty much, test the electorate to kind of get a sense of what is happening and perhaps how they should gauge their response for the general election. So if PNP is in power, I guess they will do that, and that's what I'm saying. And if JLP is in power, they're using that to as a tool to test out, how they're going to fare off in the general election. As I said, I believe that more persons, and I'm going to look for some statistics to share. More persons tend to vote, tend to vote, right, in the general election as opposed to the local government election. And I feel again that, political leaders, they utilize, the local government election to just test out what is happening. So, for example, here, if this figure is correct, let me see, I'm just trying to look at the total electors here. Was this 1.913? Is this correct? I doubt it so much. I'm just trying to read some figures here in the general election 2020. This looked like the JLP got 408,292 votes, so 56.37%, and the PMP 306,034, 42.25%. I'm trying to see the overall voter turnout, but by the looks of, things, perhaps here definitely is going to be a bit higher. Just, as I shared there, that persons tend to want to just be associated with, the elections, the general elections. Because some people don't see parish council elections as significant because sometimes you're more likely to hear about your MP because they go to parliament and they may make the news. But as opposed to the council, if they're not in touch with the community and their division, then it's likely that you don't even know who your counselor is, right? So that part of it too is something. I'm just trying to check the chat here and to see if we have the Gladstone is saying yes, I think so. The next one will be much bigger and better because people want a difference. JLP only test the water to see how deep it is. And yes, it's a test there. One in St. Mary. Dr. Bird, welcome. I believe based on our last update, the Jamaica Labour Party, they were holding on to St. Mary. I'm not sure what the updates are going to look like for tomorrow. J Tom, welcome. Welcome. All right, Ruren, how are you doing for likes?
Let me check and tell you what are happening for me for likes. So about three away from getting 150 likes. So three persons just like Ameko said, just push it up to the 100 and 50 for us. Like that would be really appreciated. We're doing it for the love, not for the likes. But we need the likes so that we can, get other persons here to join us in this family. And I take time out to say, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you haven't liked yet, now is a good time to do so. Close the chat for a few seconds, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscription button, turn on your post notifications so that you know whenever we're live, so that you can join us here as we come together and we share on information about topics that are interesting to both of us, so that we are able to dissect things and get all the perspectives on these situations. So please, thank you so much. We're up to 150 likes, guys. Thank you so much. 150 on the night here. Thank you. Really appreciate that. It shows that
That's
you're listening.
wonderful.
Yeah, it shows that they're listening to us, and that's really awesome. The likes gives us motivation to say that persons actually they're endorsing what what we're saying on this side, and what the persons are saying in the comments as well. So that's really important to us in that regard as well. So that's what's happening on my side with regards to the likes. It's still going up, but I'm going to listen to how things are going with you, Natalie, on your subscription
they're
side
they're
there.
they're more favorable to you. So I am waiting for seven more from the 10 that I asked for to get to that target. So and remember I really wanted 50, but we're taking it in small steps. So let's I just want seven. So could seven persons just hit the subscription button so I can just say to Ruren as well that you're listening and way to go. And then we take it from there. So we need six more now. So good. We're listening. So let's keep going. Let's see how fast we can get those six. And then we go for another 10. So six more to go in this round and we'll keep going. Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
and
Go
guys,
ahead,
it's
Ruben.
it's yeah, yeah, thanks. We are here, we're hanging out together, and if you're here listening to us, and you like what you're hearing, you like this platform, you like the kind of energy, the kind of vibe, the kind of information that you're getting. You know, I know some persons are not, as we would call ourselves, shy, and you don't want to call, you don't want to put in a comment, but you know you can make your silent contribution by subscribing and liking this video. We totally appreciate you for doing that as well. Not everybody is very vocal, and I believe that you learn a lot from listening to persons who listen learn a lot. Better listeners tend to be better learners, so that's quite fine. But let good listeners also be good supporters. If you know that this is somewhere that you would like to be, somewhere that you would like to come again and hang out with us as it relates to this topic or any other topics that might, be of your interest that we're covering, then, please subscribe to the channel and, hit that, you know, like button for us and turn on your post notification. Yes, Natasha, I'm going to head back over to you. And, I don't know if you want to go here tonight, but let's, I'm looking at the 29th, let's say 30% voter turnout. And if that was doubled or tripled, I heard you talking about some votes for the both parties. That was in the 40s, I think, for the most part. But let's say because of how this local government election was and it was so tight, usually I would think that persons who didn't get a chance to vote or didn't get, their person who they wanted in for local government usually decide that they will want to participate in that central, election there. I am wondering if that were the case, obviously the electoral office would have a challenge if that were to happen. Should it be a case that Jamaica consider, going to electronic voting? Do you think that's where we need to head there? I heard, somebody in the chat saying that the biggest thing from this election is that they're frustrated. And, we have been living in a technological age where information is readily available. So do you think that is a way in which the electoral office should be thinking of heading as it relates to future elections?
Well, that's a big question, right? And you still have, places that utilizes, like, you think about places that utilize, ballots, right? Paper ballots, uncounted paper ballots, and they're still doing a better job at, delivering, results. And so my thing is, and perhaps, the low voter turnout is a blessing in disguise for Jamaica, because a higher turnout, which is not usually typical of the local government elections, but let us say we had, like 60%, 70%, maybe Jamaican people would just turn upside down by now, because if it is that we are yet to get some solid confirmations in terms of some official results, then that is problematic. I feel that, with e-voting, that's electronic voting, then there has to be some legislation developed in the context of how that will go. And, in the context too of, trustworthiness and confidence in the system, and all of that. There is a lot. And again, we haven't researched this yet, and perhaps we need to do that to have a good conversation about it, right? In that context. And so when you're going to think about that, it's about a system that is going to take money, yes, but in terms of efficiency, can deliver, but in terms of confidence, perhaps question marks. And so how is it that system, the checks and balances, again, I don't know. But what I feel right now is I am wondering if the Electoral Office of Jamaica underestimated the degree of work, but they should not based on experience, and did not have enough, human resources in the context of workers to complete this task in a reasonable time. And so in
Yeah,
that sense, I'm just wondering, perhaps that is something that they need to do. And, understanding that people have questions, we need to hear from you. Yes, Ruren, you wanted to say
yeah,
something.
yeah. When you mentioned that word underestimating, something popped into my head, and this is something that I want to throw out to you and also to the viewers. Do you think that the electoral office underestimated the voter turnout, because it could be a case that they underestimated the voter turnout. They did not expect so many persons to come out to vote in a local election, and that's
Well,
what popped
I
into my head.
well, I wouldn't say that based on the last time. The last time was very similar. As a matter of fact, I believe this one was like perhaps just a little bit lower. That one was perhaps about 30%. This is 29.6 if we're being a little bit exact here. So it's, I would say, on par with 8 years ago. And I don't know if they missed it. The 8 years gave them, I don't know, did something to them in that regard. But again, I don't know what is taking them so long. But if it is that they need the time to ensure that they're coming to the public with, real, set official results, then I guess give them the time. But sometimes too long, creates, some issues, trust issues, lack of confidence in the system. And, that is what we don't want, right? And while, you're going to defend the system as the director, but you also need to see the shortcomings. You also need to see the perspective or understand the perspective of, Jamaican citizens in that context. Let me just quickly go to the chat to see what I am missing here. And Dr. Bird is just saying, I just hit the like button. Thank you so much. And JLP will not like how they won. I agree with you there. And Arctic Fire, wonderful feeling. Cricket panel also. So Arctic is sharing that we do cricket. So, that World Cup is coming up. So
Let
he
us
can
be
stick and
frank.
stay.
What we were expecting to have from the EOJ's database, we're not getting it.
It's poor.
Yeah, it's poor. We're not able to tell you how many boxes.
All right, my apologies there. My my slide just changed there on me, so my apologies. So we looked at, we talked about Cliff a little bit earlier there. So let's go back here. Wonderful. All right, so Hebron, welcome and changes in life. And we see here Pearls Cabot Allen. Good night, my sister. First time seeing your platform. Big up yourself. Big up yourself to Earl and thanks for coming over. Welcome, welcome. And I hope you have, hit the like button and the subscription button. And you have decided to be a part of our Voices in Education community here.
Well, not actually. Just to add to what you're saying to Earl, I'm going to welcome him as the newest member to the platform. So he's just going to do the do now and confirm us. Let us know when you subscribe and like Earl. We really want you to be a part of this family.
Awesome. And Dr. Bird here is saying with this current EOJ machinery, if this continues, it will take a month to know who won in the general election. I don't think they're gonna play that way because, a lot. I'm going to see if I can find that article with, Peter Bunting and some others who were sharing. And Marie Brown is saying that's right, Miss Thompson. And Eugita is saying they must always be prepared whether or not low voter turnout or not. That is it. Preparation is the key right there. So welcome, welcome. If you're just tuning in, let me see. I am 4 away from that 10 subscribers that I asked you for. So 4 persons, just hit the subscription button and let us keep going. All right. Just 4 more and let us keep going. So, Ruren, I'm just going to try to see if I can find that article. I believe I might have, something there in the context of, the elections and just what some persons were sharing here.
Okay. All right. Just let us know when you have found that. I am going to piggyback on that comment that Dr. Bird just made. Like, I am thinking that it's the same thing if the machinery is working at the same pace. we are going to be taking quite a while to get, who will be our leaders. So, they need to address that. And, let's say this as well, many persons have said that the JLP will use this as a dress rehearsal for the national election and also the PNP. But I would like to add to that the electoral commission there, they need to use this also as a test to see how well they are shaping up toward the voters and all of that. So they have a lot to do as it relates to this. So we need to do, they need to look at what they have done and also make the necessary changes, make the necessary adaptations in order to meet the needs of the population. And they must have an aim to get certain things sorted out. So I would say, let's say within the first day, within the first 24 hours, all of those um positions that were contested, all of those seats that were contested, once they are not something that's close, then that should be done and dealt with in the very first day of that happening. And the ones that are close, the ones that are tight, those are the ones that would take an extra time. But hopefully they will make the necessary adjustment, and that will be dealt with in the next time there. So we I'm looking at Arctic Fire say we can interact in the chat. I guess that's something you love about this channel. I'm happy that you're able to interact with us as well. We love the interaction that keeps us going, and keeps us on track to give us a guide of what your interest is, and how we can provide that necessary information for you, or somebody else will help to give us that information that we are discussing. So thank you guys for always sharing and being in the chat. And thank you for all the contributions that you have made, whether you have subscribed or liked, or you have called in, or you have shared in the chat. We really and truly appreciate your support. Natasha Lee, how are things going for you on that side? Are you ready for us? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. So this was a Gleaner article. So on Tuesday, the General Secretary of the PNP, Dr. Dayton Campbell, raised at least two concerns with the EOJ about the denial of persons to vote, although they reportedly presented an identification card. So he shared that in these instances, the voters showed up at respective polling divisions at which they had voted over the years, but they were told that their names were, let me just go there, get there. They were told that their names were not there, so they are not from there. They have never been there, so that is something that requires investigation. So that's Dayton Campbell there. And he pointed to the EOJ's preliminary count, which showed that the PNP won St. Mary, but it was later reported that the JLP had won. And what he's saying, I'm not sure how. I'm also concerned as to why it is being reported that councils are now tied. You can have several amount of divisions, but the final result cannot be a tie. It is clear that if there is a tie in having the same number of divisions, you use the majority vote to determine the winner. All right, and then former PNP General Secretary Senator Peter Bunting said, while he believes that the population maintains confidence in the managers of the country's electoral system and process, they are concerned that the latest polls were not run in the most efficient manner. And this is what Bunting said. When you have a good system, you can't take it for granted. You have to be constantly fine tuning and updating it, especially the reporting. It seems to have deteriorated this time around, both for the special electors and for yesterday. And that was Bunting there. So, you know, they have concerns too. We have concerns. And so we just need to hear from them. But in this same article, right, the EOJ was pretty much, defending. So he said here, we worked very hard for things to run smoothly. All right. And he said, where issues surfaced, they were addressed promptly. All right. And I did share this earlier part with you where we mentioned that the preliminary results were delivered the same night. I'm not sure to who. There's another phase, and it has always happened in elections. There has never been a time that within 24 hours it was completed in terms of the recount. All right. So that's, the director there, Glasspool Brown. All right, so that's the information that I have to share. So, PNP, worried about it too. Well, concerned, the system needs fine tuning, and it needs to be, efficient. And I don't believe it's efficient. We heard from, Cliff Hughes when they were describing, the Electoral Office of Jamaica's database has been poor, not able to access results in terms of, how much from how many boxes. So that was a challenge to, not saying I'm defending or whatever, just sharing, what he said in that context. So callers, I'm just waiting. Hello from the other side. I can't sing it out. I love to sing. You can't say that I didn't try. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Hello? Hello from this side? I'm not hearing anyone. Rurian, hello? Well, I'm not hearing Rurian in a real life.
I'm here, man.
Okay,
I'm
now I'm
here.
hearing you.
The singing, the singing has left me speechless. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, we're here. Still here. Still here. Still here on the battle here, looking at this election. Still slow with the likes, but thanking God for the 155 likes that I have here. Hopefully you're getting through with your subscriptions on your side, Natasha Lee. But we have covered a few topics here that's really interesting. And as I was saying earlier, there are lots of lessons that we can learn from these situations, and we should not mix the lessons any at all. We need to get information as best as possible from the source of from whence they came, and that would keep us safe in certain regard. But yeah, we have to give thanks for all the persons who have been supporting us here. So I'm going to pass over to you, Natasha, to see how you're doing with your subscriptions.
Well, I just hit the target, so and now I need 10. So let's do the 10 so we can get to the target that we want to reach. So we can do it.
Oh,
So
great.
just keep hitting the subscription button. I want a win this evening. Rurian Holt, it did me really bad last evening. So I want to take it this evening. So guys, hit the subscription button, and I'm going to support Ruri and hit the like button as well. But let's go 10. Arctic is saying hello, and Eugita is saying good night. And I do pray for a peaceful and sweet night's rest. Thanks, Eugita, for stopping by. I really appreciate you being here. Have a good night too. All right, and have a good night's rest. All right, so we too, we're getting close in terms of wrapping up this one. Would love to hear from you. Call in, man. Let us talk. Let us talk. Let us talk. Let us talk a little bit. And again, hit the subscription button. I haven't received one from the 10 yet, but I know you're hearing me. So just hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us continue to grow, 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 grow together. All right, so Rurian, it was an election there, and happy that we were able to at least have the opportunity to access some information that we're able to share with you. And as we, say, we'll be here as long as we're getting the updates, and we'll be talking about it and just waiting for the EOJ. But, I also saw or hear some persons talking about, the fact that the director, so Glasspool Brown, he should just, resign, like just leave the job because of what happened. Would love to hear your take in the chat on that in the context of the EOJ boss there. Should he just go given what has happened with this election? Rurian, do you believe that what happened with Cliff Hughes is kind of contributing to that view that persons are sharing that the election boss, the Electoral Office of Jamaica boss, should go? Would love to hear from you. And persons in the chat,
Well,
the line is open. Call us too. Want to hear from you.
yeah, that's a kind of nice one. Like this question is kind of well. I'm going to answer it this way. I think he, Mr. Glasspool, needs to give a lot of credit to Cliff Hughes because he has taken a lot of that off him. I would say a lot of focus has been on Cliff Hughes for the last few days, or just for the last day or so. But I'm not sure how long he has been in the position. I want to be as fair as possible to him, and if he's just been there, then it's going to take a little while, I'm sure, for him to get everything all organized. But in saying that, based on how things are progressing, he has missed the mark, quite a bit, and he needs to rethink and re-strategize and adapt whatever processes he has in place to in order to deal with the impending general election that is coming. So personally, I would not I would not I would not get rid of him yet. I would value the fact that he has this experience and his character, his job, his place was put into scrutiny, and he will want to represent himself in a better way. So I'm thinking that he's going to do better, at the next election. There must well, if he'll do better if there are changes that comes, but when he does his reflection and look on the entire election process, I'm sure he's going to see areas that he can, address in order to make this go forward more efficiently in the next election that is coming. So that's
Yeah,
pretty much my take on it.
thanks for sharing. I believe Glasspool Brown, right, has been the director of elections since 2018 after Fisher, resigned, and so he has been acting in that position since the resignation of Fisher, I guess in March of 2018. So he became, the director, after I guess the commissioners in terms of their decision making, they selected him. All right. So in that
So would
sense,
that make this his first election then that he would be in charge of?
no, 2020 was a general election.
Oh, 2020. So he has some experience there.
And I am wondering what would have been his position prior to that, but he would have had experience in 2020 with a general election. So, and I would, as I kind of said earlier, that would perhaps be a bigger turnout. So I'm not too sure what is going on, at the EOJ, but, as Jamaicans would say, anything in a darkness must come alight. So that's, pretty much that. So we're just wondering, what has happened in that context.
Yeah, for sure. They need to come out. The electoral office needs to, put a statement out. But this is what I'm thinking too. What will they come and say if they're going to put a statement out? So I think that statement might be coming after they have finished with their counting. So they would give a synopsis of how the entire process went, and how they think they fared off. So maybe we're jumping the gun in that regard. They're putting all their efforts into ensuring that the ballots are counted properly, and the score is properly allocated. So
So
I'll leave it at that.
the ECJ, they normally, I would say, have the results there, like in PDF documents on their website. Like, but in what I'm hoping, Jamaica needs, answers. We need to have a little sense of what is happening. And if we looked at the nature of the questions, like persons just want to know who win. Who win, man? Make we know who win, so we just settle this and move on to the next thing. All right, so that's a part of it too. So guys, we're getting pretty close to wrapping up this conversation, and perhaps I just got one subscriber from the 10, just one. So hit the subscription button, hit the like button, and Rory, and I'm just going to send it back over to you if you want to start by just sharing a recap of what we talked about, tonight. And if you missed anything, I'll just add what you missed. But I know you'll be terrific.
Has it has been a good night, I would say. We looked on the entire election. What has happened, the issues that have popped up. We looked back at Cliff Hughes, and his early call for the PNP, and how that resulted and in a bit of upstir in the country. And we looked on that apology that he came out with, and that one was, as I said back then, and I'll say now, was really really good to see him coming forward and taking responsibility for his actions there, for whatever reason. So he explained how he worked his matrix and got to that answer, and I think he was sincere in his apology to the nation. We also looked on, yeah, I am not remembering the name of the politician who was talking about the chopping. But
Oh, Meadows, Dennis
Meadows,
Meadows. Yeah.
Dennis Meadows, yeah, he was promoting chopping, aka scamming, and he was normalizing that. Most persons, I think all the persons that I've seen commenting in the chat, for myself and you, Natasha Lee, we all condemn, anything like that. We want our leaders to be representing themselves and, the public, and the party that they represent very well. And many persons were really mindful of the fact that they have kids, and they might be exposed to this kind of comment, and just the whole normalization of scamming, it was really a cause for concern. And just to balance things out, Mr. Warmington was, was at his best again. He spoke about, how monies will be distributed in his area there, and he was saying that he's not going to be giving any to the PNP councillors. So that, again, is not how we want, our political leaders to be expressing themselves in the public domain. So Mr. Warmington, he's no stranger to stuff like that. We spoke about that as well. What did I miss, Natasha?
Well, regarding Warmington and Meadows, they retracted their statements and apologized to the Jamaican people. So that was also done in that context.
Yeah, for sure. So, again, you, I guess we have to give them, that credit to, you know, we can't, to be honest, it's kind of
No
strange
credit.
that they made those statements in the first place, but it's good that they were able to look
To
into
recognize
themselves, yes,
and see
and,
that they wasn't good.
yeah, see that it wasn't appropriate and retracted them. So that was
But
good on.
for me, it's already out there. So I mean, and based on the nature of what both persons said, those statements should never have been made. Like scamming and victimization, never appropriate. How dare you come and talk to people and tell them that it's okay to scam? I gotta tell them, well, don't waste the scamming money, spend it here, so spend it on your mother, make sure so your woman look good or whatever. And then over on the other side, you have Warmington now, victimization. All right. Me are the minister for works, and I am the MP, and I get no money. You don't do that. So very, very poor representation. And they're going to put out statement to say that they're misrepresented or misinterpreted because now the pressure is on. So this is what I am telling you, that as a people, we have, the capacity, we have the power to demand, good representation, good leadership from our political representatives. Yeah, you're doing really fine there, Rory, and keep going.
Yeah, and pretty much that's what we covered. We looked a little bit on the electoral system and its efficiency, and when we'll be able to get those official results, and we're not sure when those will come our way either. So that's pretty much what we looked on tonight. Many persons had their point of views, and they really expressed them pretty well. And for the most part, I think we were on the same team. I would say, thinking about the best interest of the younger generation and the best interest of Jamaica in general. So overall, I think we had a good evening, good information that was conveyed, and good discussions around them. And special thanks to the persons who were kind enough to share their thoughts in the chat, or if it was just only to give us a listening ear or a subscription. You contributed positively to this space. And on that note too, Natasha, I would like to say, kudos to all the persons who joined us tonight, because everyone abide by the rules and regulations, and were very respectful in terms of their contribution to the night. So I'm going to pass back over to you. Hopefully I didn't miss anything else, but I know you'll fill in the blanks.
You were fantastic. You covered it all, so thank you so much. So I'm just seeing some comments here. Arctic Fire saying pleasant night to all families in the house, especially our moderator, peace and love. And good night to you, Arctic. And Leo, I guess your question was answered there. All right, guys. So, we are here, and usually, before we end, we just like to kind of look at what we, talked about and see what, lessons we can take from it. And I guess there's a lot here. So, it's okay to apologize when you know that you have done something wrong. It's okay. Sometimes we feel that we just can't do it because of that ego, but it's okay. But mistakes are supposed to be learning opportunities, so we need to ensure that we're getting the lessons from those mistakes as well. And in other cases, sometimes we need to think before we talk, right? Don't just go talk anything, because some things that you say, right? You might put out statement that you retract them, but they just don't go away. It can cause, serious, implications for you as a person and maybe your family, depending on the nature of what was said. And so that is important. And while I'm on that point, for some of us, we love to talk about freedom of speech, but with free speech, comes certain responsibilities. No, when you have rights, rights are not always absolute. Rights can be infringed, right? And so, but there's a process, and I don't want to get into any legal aspects right now. But what the point that I am making is that sometimes we have to be careful with what we say. All right. So, an example here, you don't just go and talk something about somebody because there is something called defamation in law where they can just sue you. Because guess what? You just talk too much. And, we just have to be careful. So, while there is free speech, freedom of speech, or freedom of expression, it doesn't mean that you can just do it like Nike without, being responsible. So that is definitely important. And, as I always say to ensure that you're being patient with yourself, exercise self-care and, take care of you. Let me just take this caller.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
You're live.
How are you? Good night.
Good night. I'm doing
Uh,
okay. How are you
yes,
doing?
I'm fine, thanks, but I'm still here waiting to hear the results. And I think this is so unfair to the Jamaican people, and I don't understand why the man in power, why he allow his people to go around and be buying votes and all of that. Why can't he act competent as the man with integrity he think he is? He is just an embarrassment to Jamaica and Jamaicans. You understand? Because what they're trying to do right about now, everybody, the whole world see. All they need to do, just go ahead and confirm the PNP because
All right.
that's all.
Thanks for calling. Where are you
Yes,
calling from?
I'm in the diaspora.
Okay, what's your name?
No, I will not give my name.
Okay, that's all right. Thanks for calling and sharing.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right. So again, we just have to wait for the official results. We don't have that here. All right. We don't have that here. So we are waiting to, and I cannot make any pronouncements as to what is happening because I don't have those type of powers to say this is exactly what is happening, but time will tell. All right, so we just leave it there, and as I mentioned earlier, anything in the darkness must come alight. So time will tell, and this is why Cliff Hughes, name is going to be there in the media for a bit because of how things are unfolding now. And if you heard from the caller there, not feeling good about it because a lot of persons too are feeling that way where the elections were called for a particular party. So we'll see how it goes. It's not yet over and it's getting closer and closer. So we hear that the JLP is leading now. It could be different, tomorrow. So let's just see. That's what I can say. So, on that context, looking for some final comments in the chat. All right. And you can share that. But again, be kind to yourself and exercise self care. And remember that with God in the vessel, with Christ in the vessel, you can smile at the storm. So, whatever it is that you are going through, at this point, at this moment, whatever it is, your storm, it might be so rough out there, but just remember that with Christ in the vessel, you can smile at the storm, and there is always light at the end of the tunnel. So remember, God in everything that you do with God in the vessel, with Christ in the vessel, you can definitely smile at the storm. All right. Blessings and love, everyone. I'm just doing one more check here in the chat just to see if I'm missing any new comments. And I doubt I'm missing any new comments. Haven't got received the 10 subscribers yet. Got 2. So, 8 more to go. So before you leave, ensure that you hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. And importantly, to turn on your post notifications. So tap the bell and select all right, so that you don't miss any updates. So we'll be live, I guess, sometime tomorrow. So ensure that you're tuned in. All right. And tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education. So I'll just play some music. All right. And then we'll sign out. Thanks again to everyone, for the callers, to every comments, for every like, every subscription, silent viewer, silent listener, silent supporter. We really appreciate you, and we really appreciate the fact that you maintained this safe space, right? This chat was safe where we can share and also learn from each other. To all the new subscribers, the new members of the Voices in Education family, welcome. And, we're looking forward to seeing you in next episodes, lives, videos, and so that we can continue to grow together. To all returning viewers, subscriber, Voices in Education, community members, thank you so much for your continued support, and let us continue to do so that we can continue to grow, together and become stronger, where we have a platform that can bring you more in terms of information. And Gavin Williams is saying, bless up, just find this channel and like your reasoning. All right, thank you so much, Gavin, and happy that you found us, but we're pretty much ending right now. But hit the like button and the subscription button, and turn on your post notifications. So close the chat, that X, and touch the thumbs up button. Look for the word subscribe, tap on it. So subscribe, and the bell will be close by. Tap the bell and select all. Thanks again, everyone. I'm just going to go to some music, and then we'll sign out. All right. So good night, everyone, or good morning, depending on where you're tuned in from. Thanks again for all your support, blessings, and love.